Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. All right. My glasses look very dirty. Let's give them a clean. Right. Do we have all the stuff? Probably not. Mic, audio check. Hello, you sexy badgers. How are we doing? Right. Got that feeling I've forgotten something. I don't think that's ever going to go away. Check the pen tablet. You working correctly? No. Let's change that. Do. Slightly off. There you are. Beautiful. Right. Where's Affinity gone? All right, let's turn off notifications in case people start texting me. Music. Beautiful. Headphones would be good. There we go. Copyright struck in the first 5 seconds of the stream. That'll be good, wouldn't it? Not surprising for me, though. You know, semi-incompetent. Which pen tablet do I use? I'm currently using an XP Pen Artist Pro 16TP. The two XP pens one that I. Let's try again. Come on, Dan, you can speak. The two XP pen tablet / pen displays that I use, I've reviewed them on my main channel. Yep, just check we are on the Affinity channel. Okay, just double check that, Dan. You don't plan the stream on the wrong channel. So the main Dansky channel, I've reviewed them ages ago, and that's the one I use now because it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It doesn't have any like buttons or anything on the side, which I guess could be helpful, but I like how clean and just minimal it is. Like, it's right for me because I use my keyboard shortcuts. This is my like keyboard shortcut hand that hovers over everything, and I use that for keyboard shortcuts. So I kind of like that the pen display itself is just screen, literally. It's very, very nice. What shoes are you wearing? I'm not. I'm actually in a hoodie, pajamas, and which I always stream in, and bare feet. So I'm wearing my natural born shoes. Does this classify as side-eye? Absolutely. Hey, Nick. How's it going? Right. Where are we? That's a good question. Let's open up Affinity. Where are we? Here we go. Dansky. Right, this is where we got to. I feel like this is a really cool project. I really enjoyed working on this, and because this starting logo is, I don't want to dunk on it too hard, but it's not my cup of tea. Like, I had a strong internal reaction when I first saw this on the back of a van about a week ago. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, I feel a need to redesign it, and it would create a really cool before and after as well. But this stream felt unfinished. It felt, the story felt unfinished. So this is kind of the, just in case you didn't watch the last stream. If you didn't watch it, where were you? What were you doing? There's nothing more important. So we kind of had a very, very quick brief that ChatGPT generated based on this business. So it kind of set the stage for a redesign. Then we did a bit of word mapping, idea generation. This is all very, very quick because I gave myself 90 minutes for some unknown reason. No idea why. To do the entire thing. So we did a bit of sketching here. Landed on, yeah, a couple of cool ideas, I think. This one was my favorite. Yeah, no, I did quite like that. Even though some people said it looked like a swastika. Which, yeah, thanks for that. But I think it looks a bit more like a pinwheel. I think that's what they're called. You know, the spinny things that you get when you go on holiday in the UK to a seaside resort. If you've never been on holiday in the UK, I don't just disappointing. But actually, no, that's not true. I holidayed in the UK when I was little, and I live in the UK, and it was great. So just ignore that. The UK is fantastic. We have excellent weather. Yeah, so this is kind of where it sort of landed. I do like this, but it feels like it needs a bit more time in the oven. This one here, it feels a bit more like a funky starfish, which I do kind of like. This one here feels like two dolphins swimming together, so I don't know why. There's a bit of a nautical theme down there, probably why we abandoned it. And then this was kind of the quick, let's cobble something together because we're out of time, crap kind of version. So it's fine, you know. It's fine, but I feel like there's a better idea there. And I didn't quite get to that point where it was like, that's the one. That is the idea. So, and I like getting to that point because it's exciting. Oh, I thought there was a child over there. It's just a cat rustling around, causing mischief, probably. I think we're not going to do 90 minutes. I don't know what this is going to be, actually. I feel I definitely want to spend more time on the type because that was just like 3 minutes. Quick, pick a font. There we go. So I feel like this one is going to be more about the idea. It's going to be more about sketching, coming up with the idea, rather than trying to cram the entire process into 90 minutes for entertainment. And education, obviously. It's good to get like a bird's eye view of the process and just imagine that process, but extrapolated out over hours and days. But I just really want to get in the zone and do some sketching. And I've got my brushes panel over here now. This is quite a nice, as long as you've got enough screen space. It's a little bit cozy on the laptop, but as long as you've got enough screen space, this is a really nice setup for Affinity. Before I had the brush panel docked up here, and every time I want to switch brushes, which is like every 5 seconds, I had to keep going over here. So I just thought, why not just stick it there on the left permanently? Yeah, this is a really nice workspace for the Pixel one. If you're coming from like Photoshop, when you have it like this, it just feels like really like this made me feel almost claustrophobic. I was like, I need more space for my layers. That will not do. So as soon as I got rid of all the color stuff, it was just like, oh, there we go. Much better. Right, this is kind of tricky now because this bloody microphone's in the way. So now I can't read the chat. Hang on. There we go. Ding dong. Hey, Kaya. I'm tired, but I'm here. That's the important thing. Still adjusting to everything happening. Oh, well, you're here. You are here. And you are still alive. You're still going. So that is the important thing. Exactly, yeah. Don't stifle the creativity. And I feel like that this is where like some of my favorite logos that I've done have just got a clever idea. That's the sort of style I like. If you look at any of my work, it's kind of I've started posting some of it on Instagram because it was like, Dan, you design logos. Well, you're starting designing logos again, but you don't really promote yourself, so no one knows what the hell you do. Oh, hang on, I've not even put the linky rinky do. Don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Actually, this is a logo stream, so I'm going to pin at the top the link to the logo design thing. I can't really speak today. I'm struggling with the words. I'm struggling with the words. Cat, what are you doing over there? He's like rustling around. Bear with me. Right, linkity link. Where will this go? My brain is short-circuited. YouTube video. There we go. Select landing page. Look at do. Okay. Bear with. We will get there. I knew I'd forgotten something. There's always something. At least I didn't forget the audio today. That is a classic. Right, let's try pasting this. Get my logo design process cheat sheet free here. There we go. Right, I'm just going to pin that at the top. So that's something we did, when was it, a week or two ago? So it's basically a free PDF, and it just outlines like a bird's eye view of the logo design process. So yeah, there you go. It turned out pretty well, actually. I can't believe that was a whole stream. I don't want to sound too surprised. Like, oh wow, turns out I can do this design thing. But it actually did come together pretty quickly for 2.5 hours. We need a new intro. The current intro is like 2 studios ago. I never got round to doing the intro for the last studio I was at, and we still haven't got one here. I feel like I need to set Poppy on doing a custom song. We need like a custom intro or something. But yeah, not something that's really crap. You don't want like an intro like Dansky and friends, let's join the party. Some of them are just so awful. It needs to be like a catchy, like simple tune, I think. Oh dear. We could just like cut together clips of all the madness. Poppy with flaming baguettes and putting on silly hats and things. Just clip that together for the intro. Yeah, I'm going to have to get onto her about that. I'll be like, what's going on, Pops? Where's that boost? I started re-importing all my Photoshop brushes. I had to install from scratch and removed all of my brushes. Been working with just a handful. So I've got them back and arranged. Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to import brushes just by dragging them in, but then it gets a bit chaotic. And you have to like organize everything, and yeah, it's much nicer. I've done that in Affinity now as well. Before I was just importing everything in and it was all over the place, whereas I got a few more to do, but having these listed 20 this, 30 that, it's so easy to find what I need in a simple drop down without having to scroll down through folders. I absolutely love this. Like scrolling the brush panel in Photoshop can be quite just hard sometimes, whereas here it's like just those 20 brushes. Boom, go back. It's pretty good. Right, speaking of brushes, we're going to just grab this one here. Grab the brush tool. Go for 15 on the hardness. And we're just going to make a new pixel layer. Get my brush nice and small. Sketchy sketch. Oh, actually, no, we don't have to do that because I'm a plonker, aren't I? I need more space. This is not going to cut it. Where's the artboard thing? We need to go bigger. How do I make it bigger? Oh, wait, canvas size. Have I ever done that? Wait. No, not that one. I'm so used to working with artboards. Resize. There we go. Canvas. Oh, 9,000 just wasn't enough, was it, Dan? Right. There we go. It'll never be enough. We'll be on like 20,000 squared by the end. Okay, right. Let's get a proper sketching brush. These are so nice. These brush panels remind me of Procreate a little bit. Just simple categories, good presets, varied, nice preview. I like it. Layout one. Layout pencil. This is kind of my go-to at the minute. Really nice. I'm going to try and zoom in more so I don't take the whole artboard up. Yeah, we'll go super small. Perfect. Right. Yeah, those are all Photoshop brushes. Well, no, they're not. They're not Photoshop brushes. They're .abr files. So I was a bit nervous at first. I was like, I'm going to struggle without my brushes. But just by installing the .abr files, I've not had any problems so far. They've all come in and they work really well. Yeah, give her hellcare. Yeah, some people I've seen, they've said that they've had some issues with brushes, but I haven't had anything yet. Touch wood. So, right. What else are we doing? I'm gonna need. Let's put my music in there. I've got so many browsers and windows open. I'm just trying to manage my own brain, but I want to look up some ideas. Because that's one thing that is important. I take it for granted sometimes, and I just think, I don't need that. It was whatever, and that's just coming up with ideas and inspiration. And I feel like I need some inspiration. So, if anyone's got any good sites for logo design inspiration, do let me know. I know there's like Dribble and that lot. They honestly, when it comes to designing a logo, they go out of my head. Half the time. Pinterest. Don't know if I've got an account on that anymore. I think I had one a long time ago. What are some of the others? Let's go back here. This is a lot of words. I just want this is what I want. Symbol. Yeah, let's focus on that. How many is there? Is there a lot? Can I search? See, what I do normally, my default is just to go on Google. So what I would typically do, I obviously don't want to search for things too specific, because if I were to search up, like, I mean, I could do it for this, a fan logo or something. You don't want to find one that you really like and then subconsciously you end up accidentally recreating that or something similar, you know, which obviously, you know, morally is probably a bit questionable, plagiarizing someone's work, but legally as well, you or your client could end up in hot water or sticky toffee. That's not really a thing, but I like a bit of sticky toffee, probably too much. As Raquel and everyone now knows. I was going to type sticky toffee then. Let's not do that. What was I actually going to type? Fan logo, yeah. So we did that before. If you want to stay away from logos and you're a bit wary of that, do icons. So I would do like energy icon instead of a logo. Still got to be careful. You don't go and obviously copy someone else's work, but icons are more general and they can give you a good indication of how to visually represent a thing. So energy is often represented by light bulbs or lightning or maybe the power symbol. Here you've got something slightly different with the kind of atom symbol or whatever that is. Yeah, so icons can be quite useful and they're more general. So flow, this would be a good one. Kind of got a few ideas in my head, but I'm not. There's some sort of there's a good idea out there lurking, hiding somewhere that fuses flow with some sort of mechanical element. I did have an idea actually earlier on as I was, where was I? Driving, I think, but I think it's an existing logo. I can't remember what it's from though. It's not Intercity, is it? The train company. Oh no, they've got a bird there. It looks like a swallow. There's a logo. I'll try and sketch it out what I'm talking about. It was something like that. You got like a birdie shape, and then it's like a straight. So that was the idea that I had. So you kind of had you experimented with the bird shape, but then So this is kind of flowing, and then this part over here is completely straight, but I think that is something already. The trick here is trying to capture the characteristics in like a simplified form. I mean, that kind of looks like a sperm with wings, if I'm honest, but not entirely what I'm going for. But then we could try and make the connection. Oh, this is what I love doing, because I love that monoline logo style. That's the head. Let me bring it round for the wing. I think I kind of did something like this the other week. Something like that could look kind of cool. Sorry, I'm not a 10-year-old, I promise. I have matured into adulthood, so they say. Right. Excuse me if I just lean off to the side here. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to probably do a lot of leaning over the tablet, because just being, having a pen display and not using it is kind of pointless. Right. Bird is flying up. Tapping the pen display like it's bloody Procreate here. That doesn't work, Dan. Bird, no. Something looks a bit wrong there. That looks odd. I wonder if we could do something straighter. Like really abstract. But then we have to keep mindful that what the hell does a bird have to do with any of this? It's more about what it represents. I think in something like this. The flow. Maybe. Maybe I'm talking shite. I don't know. We will see. See, that could look kind of cool. It's got to be relevant though. Like being able to create something cool is not difficult at all. It's got to be relevant. So. Talk us through your design process. Sperm with wings. Oh dear. Sorry, these things they come out. Oh dear. Affinity needs more text customization and manipulation. Oh, what sort of things? Do you mean like appearance panel stuff? I think it's got a lot of text options, but yeah, what do you mean? Like 3D appearance effects? They do have an appearance panel, but it's a bit more simplified. I would like to. I need to watch more. I'm still watching other tutorials as well to kind of. There's a lot of similarities between V2 and V3 that you can kind of take forward, but trying to figure out how to make advanced text effects that are still live type. Oh, drawing with a pencil tool. Yes, you can still do that. I do miss the smooth tool, but that's because I'm a bit lazier. Yeah, you can customize in Affinity. Yeah, so get some type, convert to curves, and then now I think it's curves. We should be able to grab the pencil tool, enable sculpt. I've not done something correctly, have I? What have I done, Raquel? I've missed a... Yeah, I'll attempt to show you in a minute. I converted it to curves. Was that wrong? Did I do the wrong thing? Or are they just... Oh, no, sorry, they're grouped, aren't they? So I just have to combine it together. There we go. Slightly different to Illustrator. Yeah, so now I've got pencil tool and sculpt mode enabled. You want to look for the little line, and then you can redraw. There we go. Work of art. Should have been a typographer. There you go. Have fun with that, Victoria. Apologies for the terrible waffly demonstration. I will add that to the list actually to do a video on that. Right. That's cool. Again, that does remind me of something. Yeah, it's I think it's called like rope mode. You can adjust it up here somewhere. Rope length, but it is nice the way it pulls it. It's kind of cute in a weird blow away. It's like, oh, come on, let's go. There we go. Diddle-diddle. Yeah, so what I did there, convert the text to curves, ungroup the group, and then unite and combine all the shapes together. Oh, you're welcome, Victoria. Hey, that's my. I've been useful today. Yeah, two types of text tool. Yeah. If we use Affinity primarily, will my Photoshop course be good to get? It's there's a lot of tools and techniques that, and Raquel, you could probably answer this better than me. There's a lot of tools and techniques that carry over. So the biggest challenge, and I'm going through this now, is just figuring out the differences and the quirks. The layers panel has been the hardest by far. It's got all the same stuff, not all, but it's got most of the same stuff. You know, if you're in Photoshop or you're doing one of my courses, I use all this stuff. It's just maybe got a different HSL. It's got a different name. It's got a few here that Photoshop doesn't have, and a few vice versa. But all the main ones, curves, exposure, levels, HSL, blah, 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 they're all pretty much the same. So I'll just show you. This is what I made recently. I'm sort of trying to do all the more advanced stuff I do in Photoshop in Affinity. And so this is kind of where I ended up. Bunch of different images in here. This isn't my original concept. This was based on a thumbnail I saw on YouTube, and I thought that is a good test. So I used AI to generate my own images of like the campfire, the ranger, the skull, the mountains, the rocks. And then I was like, right, now I've got to composite it and try and recreate the reference using just Affinity. And yeah, this is kind of where I got to. I think I'd probably say it's almost done. And it turned out all right. So the short answer is yes, the Photoshop courses are still relevant. But if you're going to be just using Affinity, I'd probably watch these live streams and just follow the tutorials I'm uploading. Or you could do the Photoshop First class, which that one's less money than the full masterclass, and a lot of that does carry over. I don't know, it's difficult. What do you think, Raquel? Do you think it would be annoying doing a Photoshop course and then using Affinity? I don't know if it'd be confusing or not. Yeah, I think if you did the Photoshop course and you'd done it for a long time and then you started using Affinity, I think it'd be fine switching over. I just don't know how it'd be doing a course for one app and then trying to learn another app all at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, the easiest thing to do is just if you're thinking about it, just enroll in it, and if it is annoying or confusing, just send me an email and I'll refund you. Like that's probably the best way. Have you done any videos on mock-ups in Affinity 3? No, I haven't. No, that'd be a good one as well, actually. Mock-ups in Affinity. That would be pretty easy, I think. They'd be pretty straightforward. Similar to Photoshop. What was the other one? Customizing type. Sorry, I'm writing a little list down. Yeah, for Affinity, I'm going to keep putting out loads of free videos. So if there's anything that you do want to see, honestly, just let me know and I'll add it to my little list here. I'm getting used to it. There's a few differences, a few between this and Photoshop, but I'm starting to get there. We'll make like an add-on to the course that serves as a how to translate these lessons. That's a good idea. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Pleasure to have you here. Yeah, what is the mock-up? Photoshop Masterclass is the mock-up from scratch, I think. We do a few of them, business card and what is it? Screen mock-ups. In fact, we do screen mock-ups in first class, but there's a more advanced one in the masterclass as well. Anyway, right, we've got logos to do. Mini Camusino, do you think Affinity will make Adobe feel the competition? Yes. And I like competition because it ultimately leads to better products. All right, let's try and move the mic. I've got to carefully position the mic so I don't knock coffee over myself and I can see the screen. Hey, Pixel. How's it going? Oh, yeah, we have a Discord, Victoria. Dansky.com. There's a link to join the Discord community. That's where we live outside of the streams. We live. And if you've got any questions, pop them in there. Right, I need a quick refresher of the brief. Raquel will be proud of me. Right, commercial, mechanical. Right, so that is important. They do mechanical services specializing in design, installation, and maintenance. Okay. Air conditioning, ventilation, pumps, and cooling systems for buildings. Yeah, so the idea, I think, this whole flow thing, this is where the bird came from anyone wondering, was the idea of flow and direction, not necessarily representing temperature, and they kind of wanting to steer away from cliches, hot, cold icons, that sort of thing. I like the idea of flow as well, because flow covers all of these. Heat pumps, air conditioning, ventilation, cooling. Buildings. It's all for buildings. So maybe that's a good idea to lean into as well. Yeah, there was. Yeah, you're right. There was a sustainability aspect. So it's not completely out of the question. There we go. Hey, little bird. Right. Mechanical buildings. Right. So if we did a house, that's probably a bit more residential. So I feel like that's... I mean, I don't know. This is more for sort of commercial use, I think, commercial installation. Could you do a building? Like a perspective of a building? And then have the flow. Represent it with an arrow. I don't know. It's leaning into my monoline style again, trying to see if I can crowbar it in there. Flow. Flow. E. We kind of did a few ideas with the E. I feel like that's already an existing logo as well. Something like... it reminds me of like Internet Explorer or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that is a good idea. The E with the arrow. It feels like a closer fit than some of the other stuff. No, I think it's I think Internet Explorer is a little bit more like it's the E with the rings of Saturn around it or something. Flowing building, yeah. But this is what I mean about icons. I would go on Google and I would look up building icon. Okay, so yeah, you'd maybe represent it. This is cool. This perspective one here, but more vertical, more windows. Yeah, these are cool. Super simple representations. Because if you are going for a clean, minimal logo design, it's good to see how certain things can be represented in their simplest form. Yeah, so this is quite common here. Maybe not suitable, but yeah, having the sort of what's it called, the canopy coming over the top. This could be cool. So you could try the whole double perspective thing. So this is how we're kind of using it for inspiration. We're not trying to just take off someone's idea. We're just sort of reminding ourselves what things look like. So a little bit of perspective in there. Like I'm drawing out my head. I'm terrible. I'm so bad. If you said to me, Dan, draw a cat, you would die laughing. If I had a picture of a cat in front of me, I could do something pretty half decent, like a solid 3 out of 10, definitely. I'd be confident with that. Okay. Could you? You mean you could do play around with duality a bit? So that's the business side of it, and then on the other side here you have something else, or could the whole thing? Again, I'm going to try and crowbar the idea and. Zzz. Doesn't really look very structural. A bird flying through an open window. That's a nice idea. Yeah, how would you represent that? I mean, I guess if I were to do bird again, talking about animals, let's get a bird icon. There's certain things you can easily screw up. Yeah, this is the sort of style that I was going for. Oh, I love the beak on that actually. So maybe we could take the inspiration from that. I love the way the neck curves up into the beak. So I'm going to start with this part and go, yep, that's cool. And then maybe mix it with the idea I had before. So, and then that looks weird. I think the bird's got no neck. So maybe it's too weird having a realistic top half mixed with something super straight. So let's try and curve it. Could you turn the wing into... Is that clever or is that awful? I genuinely don't know. So it could be a subtle representation of a bird. But also kind of representing flow as well. And then we could probably refine that. So this bit here would be linear, and then this airflow bit would be like maybe a solid fill. So now if I were to run with that concept, which maybe I like, it's really about getting the curves in the right places. So I know that I like this area here. So I think we'll start. Oh, it's hard. Because I'm screen recording as well and streaming everything. There's like a delay with the pen display. It's really annoying. So many different ways you could go with this. Give him a little tummy. See the beak. Beak's way too big now. Flipping out. We mucked that up, didn't we? That little beak. Little cute beak. You could give him an eye, but it then might look a bit weird. You're sort of mixing more realistic with abstract. So you could go a different way and go completely straight. No, that's awful. No, don't give it an eye. Give it a little smiley face. Hello. Hey, how you doing? Could you try and bring the body shape above the wing shape? Ooh, how do you mean? The body down here above this one? Gotcha. Do you mean have like another wing up there? That could work, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean, Kaya. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Right. So, yeah, this is going to be the hardest part, actually. Getting this bit right. The head looks a bit weird as well. Like, I need to look at... There we go. That one. Ah, they're cool representations of a bird. Yeah, even the characteristics, how the bird's neck gets thinner. It really fits. Oh no, I've got an advert for porridge. Shut up. He switched to British for a sec. He switches in and out of. There's probably a few personalities in here somewhere. Don't mind me. We got a few personalities in here. Don't you worry about that. Right. Bird. Maybe. And then Kay, I think you were saying about having it up here, something like that. Actually, yeah, you could even get like the sustainability aspect in there with a leaf that looks like a wing. So if I were to do, I've got to be careful here because I'm going to screw this up. Something Oh, it's too flipping high, isn't it? Moved it too high. Hang on, let's lasso this and just shift it down a bit. The angle's wrong as well. Hang on. Yeah, maybe something like that. We need bird's voice. I can't. I don't think I can do birds. I can do dolphin. Andrew's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Do we give him, like, it's the... Do you give him a little tummy or a neck or... Let's get in this shape. Oh, hang on. There we go. Coming off, so kind of riffing on the same curve. That is the play, I think. Whatever I did a second ago. There isn't any of this. It looked really good. It's almost like this shape here times 2. I wonder if you could actually... Hang on. Let's try and... Let's get that. Copy and paste it. Let's see if we could do that. Just rotate it. Could you do it again? For the other wing? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I've either stumbled on something that's really clever or really terrible. Give it a belly button. Bird's voice in Irish accent. You got to lower your expectations. Right, how do we... I mean, this could be quite clever for the beak because it kind of doubles up, you know, like you have a beak and normally you get the line down the middle. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not an aviation specialist. Aviator? No, that's a pilot, isn't it? What's the bird one? What's a bird specialist called? See, that looks weird. That doesn't that looks wrong. So let's get in the shape right. And it's got to come up from here as well for it to make sense. Maybe it needs a small head. It's mixing the it's getting the characteristics right. Hello. I love how even though there's gaps, it sort of shows the flow. Like there's a gap, an obvious gap here, but you can see that it flows into that part. And the cool thing about this is as well, this bottom shape could be a solid. This top section could be not. I don't know why that's cool. It could be something interesting. Right, let's try and just line this out a little bit. The great thing about this as well is I can use this part here and this part. Oh god, there's a terrible lag. This part and this part here, and just repeat them. So there'll be like a nice element of things looking the same or very, very similar. And then we got this one up here. Let's clean up some of this. Oh yeah, this was a good shout actually, doing a good sketching session. This is where the ideas kind of happen. Yeah, it's cool covering the process, but you just got to give yourself the time. Time is the secret ingredient for better ideas. Time and the right headspace as well. I love sitting on the sofa and sketching this sort of stuff. Normally I'd be sat on the sofa with the iPad, because you can just curl up with a blanket, a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, and just... And I'm not going to say that's the right answer. I think it looks weird and a bit overdone, but it just doesn't matter. Give him a little tummy and a pair of legs. How did you make those PNG icons of Photoshop, Illustrator, and Design? How did I make them? I think just using basic tools. I can't remember what I made them in. I think I did them in Illustrator. I think. Or was it Photoshop? Might have been Photoshop. And just saved them out as transparent PNGs. So you're using just, shape tools and text tool. Real simple. Nothing crazy complicated there. And just saved them as a PNG with transparency. Yeah. He looks like he's carrying a bit of extra weight down here. like someone else I know. It's a little bit low, so maybe just the top half. I'm going to duplicate this. You're never going to hear the end of this, Rako. Hey, Dan. Remember that time Raquel joined the stream and she said you look fat? I do remember that time. Every goddamn day. Yeah, so we could streamline it a little bit. I think the angle's slightly wrong, so we could point it up. Yeah. That looks like a wooden toy of a dove. There's definitely some ideas here. I'll say that. I mean, I do wonder if maybe even more minimal. So just quite literally the representation of that. Now, obviously, this would be green. There's no other color for it, really. Not that I can imagine. It's got to be green. With a gradient would look really nice if we can get that to work. Obviously, got to be careful printing gradients, but not impossible. Right, how do we do this bit? Do we... like that? That could be a couple of bananas, but I think with the right treatment, that could look quite nice. It will carry the sustainable element. It will have the flow element as well. Could be a bird, could be a plant. Who knows? But sustainability. Drapansky. Yeah, I think this one could be cool, but does look a bit odd. Yeah, go for it. Chuck it in the Discord. What are those birds called? I don't know. I'm just trying to create any sort of bird. Oh, hello, Poppy. Oh, origami. I think it aligns more with a building related brand. That's cool. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. The origami idea. So how could I maybe translate this into that origami style? I don't know if it's quite right. You don't want it to obviously look like origami necessarily, but that sort of style can be. You do see that quite a lot actually. This sort of thing actually is just kind of similar to something I was doing earlier. I wouldn't write it off. That could be interesting. Huh. He's got very flat head, almost like he's like. Does look kind of cool. Where is the brief? No, it's yeah. We've got to be. You're right. We've got to be careful with the bird aspect. That's why I think it has to, because there is the sustainability element as well, and the good for the environment sort of thing. So I think it's that conveying it as a bird or some aspect of nature, however you do that, whether it's color or part of the symbol itself. I think you got to do it subtly. I think having like a literal bird is probably not the right approach. Yeah, sorry, I was there's the brief. Airflow temperature without cliche. That's just one possible direction. This bit here is quite important as well. But that being said, just because this is what they do, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to just have like a fan or a mechanical looking thing. Like a shuriken. My bosses would ask me immediately why I chose an animal to represent our B2B service offering. If I wanted to convince people and pitch it to them, I would find other successful B2B companies that do something similar. You know, there's one idea that immediately comes to mind, BP, the garage. I don't know if they're outside the UK, but they, if I remember correctly, they had a logo somewhere ages ago. I'll try and find it. BP rebrand, and there was a big oil crisis. Something happened, not good, so they rebranded to a flower. Hey, look, we're environmentally friendly. Oh, you forget that big, that big thing that happened that we were partly responsible for. Slightly different example, but do you see what I mean? You could look at it and go, oh, well, why is that a flower? What's a flower got to do with petrol or energy or whatever. So there's sometimes reasons behind things, and it's not just about the mark as well. Having a literal or even non-literal representation in the logo is about the logo's just one part of the whole brand. It's about colors, type, all sorts of things. That was just the one that came to mind. Obviously, this is totally different industry, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a fine line you got to walk. Oh no, I've got an advert in my head. Rebrand cover up. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the I think the idea behind this was a fusion of flow and direction, rather than mechanical. I know some people are add spanners and gears rather than mechanical, leaning into the flow element and mixing that with sustainability. You know, it doesn't have to be a bird; it could be a leaf, but maybe you choose to represent flow in two different ways. That was a terrible drawing. Let me try that again. Flow, and you got a leaf. You could even connect the two arrowheads, maybe. And you got a leaf with flow as well. So just that's off the top of my head, but and I think if you're going to have like a, I mean, maybe that could work. I don't know. I think if you're going to have some sort of animal in a simplified form, you've got to get these shapes right. This bit here looks a bit weird. He's got a bit of a flat head, so how can we not give him a slightly angled? Nope, that looks weird. Maybe change the beak location? Nope. Maybe we move the beak down. That's probably better. I mean, you could say there's flow represented there. You got that. I don't know. Might be reaching a bit there. And then that's like a very origami style. But if we were to do that and try and lean into that flow idea a bit more, so we go up, we go down. That's one line. And what else are we going to do? So maybe we start. Could we do this? Better. Much more bird-like. Slight parrot vibes. But you see, we've got it all connected now. Maybe there's a way to pull out the flow. I don't know. If we were to just... thicken that up. I don't know if that'll work. And I'm not 100% on the bird idea yet. The bird that isn't a bird. I'm more interested in the flow idea, but if I can get flow into there somewhere. Yeah, all right, let's go back to the brief. There you go. Yeah, that's maybe. I think I wasn't going to lean into hot or cold because it does everything. So it was more about the common things that connect those different elements. So air conditioning, ventilation, heat pumps, cooling, that can all be connected with direction and flow, airflow. Temperature is another one we've not really explored. So we could do something there in terms of a dial of sorts. I think that was another idea that I circled, yeah. That's true. Penguin Books, that's a good example. And you've got the business card company Moo. Yeah, I think that's why as well. If imagine pitching something like Moo and just pitching the logo, not pitching any of the other aspects of the brand, the application, the website, how the whole thing looks as a whole, and just showing that one piece, it'd be a lot harder of a sell. So if I were pitching this to a client, I mean, maybe I'll post it and tag them. I don't know, just for fun. But if I were pitching it, you'd present the logo, mock-ups, use cases. You would see the logo with everything else that. So you'd see the website, you'd see the imagery, the photography, you'd get the whole package rather than just like a little slice. Because that is exactly the sort of thing if you only, and I used to do this, if you just send a logo as like a JPEG attachment to an email, the first thing you'll get back is, why is it a bird? I don't understand. So you put together a presentation to kind of show and sort of walk them through that thought process, sell them on the whole thing, the full, complete vision. And so they kind of go, by the end of the presentation, right, I get it. Clever. Yes, no feedback. Signed off, hopefully. So I like that, but there's other things to explore. Flow and temperature. Yeah, I do like this one as well. I do like this one. It's simple. You could even encapsulate that in a circle. Anyway, let's explore some ideas about temperature. How could you represent temperature? In fact, we'll go back to the old Google and just type temperature icon, and you're gonna expect thermometer. Yeah, you're gonna get thermometers. This is what you want to look for. Stuff like this. Not hot or cold cliches, because that's not what they want. The thermometer is probably, we don't want to slap a thermometer icon on there and call it a day. But we could find another, maybe more abstract way of representing that. So you've got something filling up. How would we represent that? With flow as well. I mean, the obvious way of representing flow is circulation. Circulation, yeah. I wonder if there's more interesting ways of doing that. Someone else said the recycling symbol earlier, but maybe not quite the recycling symbol. Square. I feel like that's been done a million times. Unless we did a box with just one arrow. Or you could do multiple arrows. Not sure about the arrow idea. I would like to represent flow and direction maybe through more subtle means than just having just an arrow. Because you could just do like a fast forward. Yeah. That would have been a good one for the brief, actually, to have the competitors. Yeah, that would be the idea, Care. Sort of nature and sustainability, but also the fan and airflow. Yeah, I do like the idea of flow. It could be one direction, it could be both. There was that. What was that? It's almost like lightning, actually. So you could do something like that and have one red and then one blue. So that could be quite an interesting abstract representation of temperature. And you get the lightning element as well for electrical power. Vapor symbol. How would that look? What if we extrapolate that idea a bit further? All right, let's just get some sketch lines in. And do it like this. How are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. The bloody cat was sitting in his box and he fell off the table. He's got a little box he's been sitting on. I think it just like tipped off the edge. Donut. You'd be surprised how often that cat falls off a table. It happens frequently. Bless him. A nice word mark with flow elements. Yeah, you could do. I feel like this one would have a... No, not crumble roux. If it was crumble, it'd be a massive, massive thud. 3 wavy lines. I mean, we could look up wavy lines. Yeah, this could be helpful. Maybe. This is interesting. This sort of stuff. Yeah. Oh, I like these. This sort of swirly wind icon. What's the vapor symbol? Hang on, let me look it up. Oh yeah, the line's going up. I gotcha. Quite a mix of ideas here. That one could be quite interesting. The up and the down. Play around with that a bit more. One red and one blue. Again, up or down, hot, cold, whatever, but not in a stereotypical way. I mean, that could be quite good, actually. I could make that look pretty good, and that's pretty simple. Just gotta shake it around a bit. Yeah, I do like the up and down aspect. I'm looking for a good song. Stranger Things for California Dreaming. Right. Up and down. Left and right. And sometimes just drawing this can spark ideas, you know? If you can't think of anything, just draw something. I think, oh, that's almost like the train symbol in the UK. Can't just use a vapor symbol, though. I think like we could take elements from the vapor symbol and make it into something like this. Yeah, I wonder what about making that. I love being able to sketch like this in Affinity. As soon as we come to the vector bit, I think it'll be super simple. Yeah, we got the wind symbol up here. And we got the fan element as well. What was it we had before? Let's try that one from the side. Again, it's another way of showing up and down. No, they got no idea. All right. It's good for me as well. It's like a good exercise to kind of actually get sort of stuck into some projects, kind of teach the whole workflow and the process for how I work, but also just get stuck into doing a proper project with Affinity. So I've done some photo manipulation stuff, but yeah, just to kind of go through that logo process. Yeah, free advertising. I got no idea. I got no idea about the company, what their reviews are. Honestly, I'm not really interested. Just I saw their logo and it was like that needs a redesign. So then we could try that. We could squish it. We could. I mean, we got commercial building. That could be interesting. You could have a ground line, and you've got the building here, but then you've got the bits and bobs that go on underneath or behind the scenes that, like the ventilation. So this is like the representation of the building as you experience it, and then this is what you don't see that makes all the AC and everything work. Might be getting a bit too deep into it there, but what I was going to do though before I did that was just do the same thing but squish it. You don't want to make it look too heart monitory though. It's not my favorite logo, I'll be honest. Exactly, it does serve a purpose for these streams. And I kind of like the fact that it's as you say, terrible, because it then makes the potential to show a transformation even more significant, I think. I mean, I don't know. If I get something that I really love at the end of it, I might even go a little bit further and just mock up a homepage and stuff. My background, a lot of it is actually web and UI, so we could do a slick looking homepage. Could pitch it, but not really that interested. It's more for us really, and it's interesting content as well. Good practice for me with this old Affinity. Right, I'm not sure about that. What about a square? Could we do that same idea in a square? So, what about... So it talked about plumbing and ventilation and obviously ventilation shafts and things. What about if we did something like this? Ah, that sort of almost ended up like an E, unintentionally. Okay, I think I butchered that, but do you get the idea? Like making it like a... It was meant to be like a maze. That didn't really turn out how I hoped. Let's try again. Almost like a spiral, but not as predictable as a spiral, if that makes sense. Oh god, this lag delay is challenging. There we go. That's a better job of what I was trying to do. Maybe we flip it and we have an E. Maybe we flip it and we have an E and it was all intentional. Yeah, look, there we go. We got E for Enviromech. That was all part of the plan. Almost like, I think Raquel did something similar, or said something similar. The idea of you going in, this is the ventilation route. Now, it doesn't make sense here because I've ruined it, but almost like a top-down view of the, you know, the blueprint of a ventilation. Yes, I'll show you the logo. So this is the current logo. That's a really good point. Yes, Waylon. For the target audience, architects and building managers. That is a very good point. We could even double it up. So, sorry, I've gone. I I can listen to music playing. As soon as I get a flipping ad, it's like someone talking in my head, and it's like, shut up. Yeah, so sorry, you could have the thing that I was doing a minute ago, but then you could have a line, a coloured line, a green line, or whatever, down the middle of it, showing the flow or the pathway through. Unforgiven 3. Oh, I love this song by Metallica. So flipping cool. I love all the Unforgivens, actually. So this idea here. So if I were to do that again and actually try and plan a route through it. So we could put the E in the middle, so it would go something like that. So we get the E in there as well, which is pretty subtle. Actually, yeah, that's a really good point you made about the target audience. Can't remember these things down. The architects. Things like that. This could be more blueprinty and maybe more technical. The sort of thing that they would be more used to seeing and appreciate. And then my other idea was, I don't know if this will work or not, having a coloured line down the middle. So you have like a green line. It's a bit of a... That might not work, but we'll try it. Let's just throw a bit of colour in there to see. I mean, ideally we get it working in one colour first, but That could work. Dynamic text. You're not seeing the blueprint or technical? No, maybe not yet. That'd be another good thing to look up. Architect logo or blueprint logo. See if there's elements. So yeah, usually you get lines. So you get these kind of sketch lines that extend beyond. That's usually quite a good thing. And I think blueprint logo might look similar. Yeah. So what that might look like for this is something like that. And you could always rotate it on its side as well and have the E that way. But no. HVAC. Ah, this is cool. Okay. So, yes, this is interesting. So lots of geometric elements. So triangles, circles, kind of a chevron shape for the arrow. The muffler, that's kind of like what we were just working on. The filter could be something as well. Oh, that's a really good one for fan. It's totally like generic, and we probably couldn't do it. But that unless we, I feel like this has been done like a million times. Yeah, this isn't. That's not an original design. That's definitely been done. But it looks very nice and geometric. I don't know. Could we get away with that? It's a shame, because that would be beautifully geometric. You could put it in a circle if you wanted, but yeah, it probably is similar to Mitsubishi, kind of Celtic. An E made up of pipes. What, you thinking capital E? I suppose actually, hang on. Just so it's not just too literal. What if we did this? Hang on, let me get this right. So we're going down. This could be like a U bend or something. And then down. Just hang on, I'm gonna have to make that middle line thinner for this to make any sense. So that is just straight. Unless I feel I feel dead. What about if we actually get rid of those bits and just compress the whole thing, kind of leaning back into that sort of, I'm going to call it a maze-like design. It's funny. I feel dirty. Yeah, so we do that. Okay, what about if we change it so the E typographically is a bit more correct, but then we could bring the serifs in by doing this. Now, is that any good, or have I just made some nonsense? I don't got no idea. Does that need to? Oh, I don't know what I've done. It was meant to be like, there's your E. Does that make sense? I mean, it's because there's so many ideas. Yeah, pattern brush would be. I don't know if there's an equivalent brush in Affinity. Yeah, you can definitely make custom brushes, but I don't know if it behaves in the same way. I know they've got image brushes, so that might be the thing, I think. Because, yeah, you could set it up as a brush that... Oh, God, this delay is horrible. I mean, you get the E in there as well. I don't know. Yeah. I think it makes a little bit more sense than what I was doing a minute ago. This one. It's hard because you got to try and imagine it as a clean logo. I mean, would it look good made digitally? Yeah, of course it would. It'd be super clean. The spacing would be tight. It's just, would it actually be good for this project? No idea. It's like I was saying earlier, making a logo look good is the easy bit. Making it suitable and fit the brief is different kettle of fish. Hmm. Ooh, guys, a few ideas. I didn't see those in the Discord. Oh, yeah, some of those are cool. I like the blue one, Cal. Yeah, airflow, building. Nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the radiator shape be more like... Right. What have we got? Is there any of these that we think have got potential? I do like this one. It's just, it's trying to imagine it or trying to make it more... Like, is it suitable? Like, or could it be suitable? I do like the lightning one. I don't know. Oh, I mean, the fan, obviously I can't use that, but that sort of thing, if there was something we could do. Like if we have a circle, it's always a good way to show flow. Some sort of interlinking shape. Hmm. Do you need a Canva Pro license to collaborate? I got no idea. Can you collaborate? I don't know if you can collaborate on an Affinity project. I mean, if it has real time collaboration where you can invite people to the project and they can jump in and you can all screw around together, someone please tell me, because that would be amazing. I don't know if it's got anything like that um, or what am I trying to say? You know, like cloud documents. Through Canva. So is that on Canva though? It's not on Affinity, right? Like I couldn't invite someone to join this document and then they start mucking around in here. Oh, I mean, I would love that. I haven't seen a collaboration thing, but I would love to be able to. I would love to be able to say, right, anyone with a pro subscription or whatever, here's the link, and then everyone joins the document, and we can all just sketch ideas out. It would be absolute chaos, and I could, open myself up to having people post some very inappropriate things, but it would be very fun. Maybe that would be like a private stream, just in case. Oh, was he? So what? They're thinking of adding it, or lightning bird blend? That's a cool idea. Yeah, that's what I mean. Not necessarily this bird as it is, but if there's a way to integrate it, it's quite sort of technical as it is. It's not really lightning, is it? As soon as you integrate. Although maybe some of these shapes do come off that architect sheet. There were a lot of triangles on there. No! What the fuck? That was the golden idea and it crashed. Second crash I've had though, so I'm pretty happy with that. I know some people have. Oh, look at that. No, that's not it, is it? No. Oh, I thought it recovered it then. I know some people have had more crashes, but that's my second. Right, what the flipping heck was I doing? What did I do? It's like lightning like that, wasn't it? This is interesting. I do like this idea. I don't know if it'd be right or not, but I love this bird idea. And using the symbols. Some of these kind of came off that architect sheet, didn't they? Lots of triangles. Maybe make the tail less vertical. Sorry, Andrea. Yeah, that would be interesting. How long it took to come up with those ideas. Oh, yes. Heavy rain. Ha! Do you know, that's a really good point that you mentioned that. Hang on, let me show you what I'm looking at. What's it called? Heavy rain. There's something I did notice about this just now. It looks like ventilation. It makes me think of like a ventilation. The folds on it. So I wonder if integrating that element in there. So what? Let's just try this version. So we've got like a square with the cross. That's very blueprinty, I think. And how do they do it here? So they go up. And then they got a down one. And then they do the wing out the back. There. Oh no, it's a bit longer, isn't it? So they got one and then they do a wing. Don't flipping crash again, Affinity. I'm watching you. Right, why is my layer not moving? There we go. Alright. Done that the wrong way around, haven't I? So let's do that. And then this one here, the head's a bit too big. Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely an idea. Oh, yeah, let's see it, Care. That would be stealing. No, but as you can see, we could always adapt. We've got to take ideas and inspiration from anywhere. It's just finding an idea that is like, yes, let's run with that. What about the idea of, what about our, I just had an idea. What about something like a double-ended arrow? I did a logo like this years ago. Totally different logo, but it had the kind of interlocking arrow element. In fact, I think I might have done a video on it on YouTube. It's like a double-ended S. That could be kind of cool. How does one join the Discord? So if you go to Dansky.com and then scroll down a little bit, you've got the courses, coaching, and community cards. The community is the one that you want to click on. So just pop in an email and you'll get an invite to the Discord from there. Let's pull that out a bit further. I mean, it's simple, but I do like it. don't know what that was. What about in... What about... If we had a square, could I do the same thing? So it's going around... Oh, actually, no, I think something like this would be done before. Ooh, I was just trying to make that into an E then. That'd be a bit of a lucky accident. What was I doing? So let's start with a square. So the cut would come up. And there'd be a smaller one on the inside. So this would extend enough that it would kind of form the basis of an E, I think. So kind of, there you go, there's your E. But this should be an arrow. And that would cut there. Bit more corporate looking. Obviously, all of the other parts would be a consistent width. Uno reverso. I'll show you. One sec. So yeah, if you go on to a website and there you go. This is the one you want. So if you just click that and then you pop your name and email and you'll get an invite. This one looks cool, the E. Oh, I see what you mean. We played a game of Uno yesterday. Andrea, I won it so fast. It was the most effortless game of Uno ever. Oh, you got it, Waylon? Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so this one is a very Uno-y card. This one, yeah, I don't know. What do we think? Kind of a subtle E, but it's meant to represent airflow with an arrow. That's meant to be an arrow. One-sided arrow. I wonder if you could do the same thing in a circle. So what would it be? It would be a cut like that. And then rub that away. Oh, maybe. And then, yeah, you just trim away part of this. Not sure. Oh, that's cool. We'll just do that, Kaya. I just saw your thing in the Discord. I mean, I'm also seeing a sideways bum. So I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. How about this? Outer box represents building mech structure. That's cool. Yeah, I like the idea of mixing structure with, so let me just sketch this up. So I've got diamond. The idea of mixing the architectural side of things with the flow, that's cool. I like that. And there is actually a flow that I've abandoned, but it's on this artboard that I quite like. And then what have you done? You've kind of gone, sorry, I'm going to cock this up now, but you've done something like that inside. So I quite like. I like this. It doesn't really fit with your idea, but I just put a pin in that one. I think usually you do see a lot of these shapes when something is like environmentally friendly or something like that. They're usually very nice flowing shapes. You know, nature is not that. That's more mechanical. So I think the flowingness sort of lends itself more to natural organic shapes. Hello, hey, I am Airflow. Stop it, Dan. And then we could even maybe separate that. Yeah, and we could even have this one here. I could give it a solid fill color. That could look kind of cool. Yes, that is a good point. The closer, yeah, actually no, it's not too bad. I thought for a second I was like, it's not Dove, it's going to be a toothpaste brand. But I like, yeah, that could represent the different temperatures without literally representing them, and it does represent airflow, hot, cold airflow. And then if we use green as well, it probably would end up being green, let's be honest. You get the sort of, I think it would look very environmentally friendly as well. And just to kind of make it a bit easier, it's not a million miles away from their little swirly thing there. So it's not like it's totally new to their brand. They do have that. It's exactly this sort of stuff they want to get away from, the hot cold cliches. I mean, the first thing I said, the funny thing with this logo was if you stripped away. Hang on, where is it? There we go. This logo is now 76% better just by doing that. You know, which is funny. Right. Oh, you got some good ideas, interesting sketches. I do like this one. If I'm being drawn towards this one, if I'm being honest. I like the flow of that one. Okay. Ooh. Oh, you got in the community. Awesome, Waylon. Interesting. Not sure about the colors. I like the idea of flow, though. Hang on, I've screwed up my brush now. Yeah, so it's... I like... it's kind of like an E. Fun slash slightly bonkers, Waylon. Yeah. We love our memes in the Discord. I really like this. I'm gonna give this one a go, vectorizing it. This is a flipping pain in the ass shape to draw, though, so I'm not looking forward to that. Even in Illustrator, but there's a few ways I could do it. But I'm using Affinity, so I've got to think, what is the best way to do that? Could we use the width tool? Right, let's get in the right workspace first of all, Dan. That'll be good. Right, I've not really used the pen tool in Affinity much. I think it's pretty similar. So what are we doing here, Dan? Let's make our first anchor point, second anchor point. And, oh, where's my thing? Where's me rubber band? Why are you not snapping? What is the best way to do this, actually? I've got an idea. Let's just try the pencil tool. And that worked. That worked out quite well, actually. I was going to try the width tool. Depends what you're going to use, what you want to do in Affinity. Yeah, you could do. Probably. This actually turned out quite well, weirdly. Not sure how. Well, what I was going to do is adjust the width. It just depends. Oh, that's cool. I love that you could do that. Look at this. You can adjust the width and slide it in real time. So this is cool, but it's just not. It's quite smooth. It's not as perfectly smooth as. Is it? I can't tell. I love the fact you can just do that in real time. That's so cool. Right, what am I doing with these? Stroke. Oh yeah, I guess we would round that. Okay, that'll do. That's not bad for now. It could have gone worse. And then we duplicate and we've got to change the origin point to there and then rotate it around that. So then for this one, I got to expand this stroke. There you go. Slightly different to Illustrator. Swap it to an actual stroke and then give this a white fill color. There you go. Sticking it up. Bring it on top. And the second one's a bit shorter, isn't it? I mean, I'm just kind of experimenting now. Oh yeah, that's so we get like a nice consistent tapering across all three. I don't know if I'm going to have all three, but fun to see. Right. Let's lock you. And we've got to lock. Right, I need to lock some of these layers because I'm going to start flinging them all over the place. Yeah, just a little bit tighter together. I mean, I guess you could say the same about saying, "Dan, you're ugly." Is that offensive? Or is it a fact? Oh, funny. Oh no. Oh no, I think we're alright. You scared me then, Rob. I see what you mean, the shape of the bird. I think we're okay though. Oh, I wonder if. Oh, actually, I wonder if I just overshoot this a little bit. It then sort of creates the beak element. Maybe I have to rotate it a bit more. Hmm. See, this is one thing that I really do like about Affinity is that I'm able to Like I say this all the time, the design process is never a straight line. It's like backwards and forwards and up, down, left, right, you know. And just being able to switch between the studios in the same app. It's taken a bit getting used to because it's like you're working with vector and raster all at the same time. But it's nice that you can do the entire project from start to finish in one app, more or less. Yeah, I think I'd probably maybe curve that and just refine it and obviously fix this knobbly wobbly bit on the end here. I don't think it's meant to look quite like that. Illustrator's with told us some funny things as well, so it's not a problem. We can clean that up. So if I were to just be naughty and jump ahead and just grab this. Like what we're doing, expand the stroke, remove that, combine, unite. Nope. Are we shape building? Yeah, this is one thing that does work differently. And so hang on. No, I need the white fill, don't I? I'm being a plonker. Right, we'll shape build a tool. Yeah, there we go. Now I should be able to unite. Yeah. And then here, I'm going to use that same technique we looked at earlier, Victoria. We don't have a smooth tool, but we can, if I'm very careful, try and resculpt the path. Wish me luck. We're going to go around here as well. That was awful. We could even, actually. If we delete some points, what we can probably do is maybe do this ourselves, actually. Let's see if I've got the competency to manage that. I'm holding Alt or Option so it doesn't screw around over here. Yeah, so that's fine for now. More than good enough for now. So if you've done it correctly, you should have one fill color. And it eye drops to red for some reason. That seems to be a thing. But if I click in frustration enough, I'm hoping it's going to turn green. There we go. Oh, back to red. Oh, wow. It's switching between... Don't ask. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. It's one logo, the whole thing. One logo, one color. There we go. And we could even move this around, actually. Let's just have a play with the color. Oh, thanks, Andrea. We normally do twice a week, unless I could sneak some more in. So what's that? I don't know why I even said that. What's that? It's like it's a math equation. Twice a week. It's twice a week. Yeah, so we do. I'm going to try doing Mondays and Wednesdays for a bit, just to sort of fit in with all the other stuff that I need to do. So we'll maybe do like Affinity on Monday, and Wednesday could be Adobe. So Affinity stuff will be on this channel on Monday, and then we'll do the Wednesday one on the main channel, just so they're kind of separate. Right, fonts. We didn't really look at fonts before. So, one sec. Just got to warm this coffee up. It has gone cold. Yeah, you could add your own typography. I think it's just if you're going to do your own lettering, it's just worth it. If you don't know anything about lettering and you're going to do your own lettering, I would just be careful because there's lots of nuances with lettering and mistakes that you might make without even being aware of them. So what I would recommend is, like me, I'm not a typographer. It helps that I've been around type and design for a long time, but I would still consider using or starting with an existing font. Because all of these, well, not all of these, but most good fonts that have been professionally done have been made by professional typographers. So they understand the nuances of all the letters and letter forms and how they should look. And then I would suggest cautiously customizing them. That is a nice font, but it's the Airbnb font, so I can't use that for legal reasons. But that's got the flipping it. That's got the right amount of playfulness to it, I think. That's not too bad. Active grotesque. Yeah, we need to kind of really make a little collection. I like this idea as well, actually. Why have I abandoned that? I don't know. We'll come back to it. Right, instead of this, I'm going to whip out the type panel. Yeah, there we go. I should. Yeah, there we go. Bit easier now. Just I can change it over there. Exactly, Andre. Yeah, very carefully. I mean, I've seen lots of custom type when we've done design review, and it's just, especially if you've got a good idea, it's such a shame to ruin it with bad typography. So yeah, just tread carefully. Use the existing fonts as a reference as well. Albert Sans, that is very, very similar. Yeah. That's all right. Oh, you're welcome. You are very welcome. Yep, I've got lots more content planned this week. I'm probably going to sit down and do it tomorrow. I think with the Affinity stuff, it's much easier for me to just gather a list of questions and things people want to learn and my own ideas for videos, and just I'm going to probably bulk record tomorrow and then schedule them sort of for the next week or two. Yeah, I like the bite-sized format as well, because I think there's a lot of people that would give it a go, but there's just a lot of differences and things that can be annoying. And because I'm going through that now, it makes sense for me to just make videos about those little quick tips and things. You know, I mean, it's like I think there's about 45 or something like videos like that. You know, if you watch 2 a day, you could be up to speed with a lot of stuff within a couple of weeks. Does that mathematically work out? No. 2 a day? 7, 14 a week. Anyway, math. 2 or 3 weeks, you get the idea. But yeah, they're kind of long enough that even if you were, I don't know, commuting or something and you got a 20-minute commute, you could smash through like, 5 or 10 videos. Ooh. Interesting ligatures. That's interesting. Blue, maybe just a bit too playful and a bit too chunky, and I don't think there's a lighter version than that. Why is my font gone back? Oh, that is annoying. That is a bit annoying. Oh, fuck's sake. I want to get back to where I was in the list. Okay, right, just be careful. If you start moving the mouse or move off, it's going to go back to the first one. So let's not do that. So if I'm going down the list now and I move the mouse, okay, just be careful. If you're going down a long list and you move the mouse, you might cause problems. Hello. Hidden Live. I need this channel. Excellent. Yeah, just to reiterate, if anyone has just joined and you want to join our Discord community, I mean, it's called the Dansky community, which, I don't know, Poppy thinks it sounds all right, but I feel like it needs a proper name, I don't know what to call it. But go to dansky.com and then look for the community thing on the homepage and you can sign up. I feel like it's going to be a sans serif typeface. I don't know. Uppercase or lowercase? What do you think? I think I've been thinking so far that it's going to be lowercase. But maybe I shouldn't rule out uppercase. Not right this second, no. But if you want to chuck it in the Discord, I'm sure people will give you some pointers. I have. I've been drinking it for a very long time. I get a lot out of a large coffee. It goes cold and I reheat it. I'm really not fussy. That's kind of nice. I like the E. I don't like how it's slightly slanted, but if it was intentionally slanted more, that could be cool. Do I do my own letters? See, a sans serif typeface, the lettering is quite easy on a sans serif typeface. And I could do a single stack A as well. Like that's a single stack A on top. And then if you look at the one below, it's like a double stacked A. Sometimes if I find a font that I like, but there's something that I just don't like about it, I will go to the trouble of drawing the letters myself, because then I can fine tune it and customize it. So it seems like a lot more work. That's interesting. It seems like a lot more work, but actually, if you want to customize it, it can save time in the long run. So what do I do now? Press return? Yeah, okay, right. I don't know if it's too techy, but we'll put a pin in it because that could be cool. Kotox, and then we're back to carrying on. Okay. Sorry, this whole panel just behaves a bit differently to Illustrator, so I'm just trying to navigate the differences. Oh, of course. Yes. In fact, that's a good point, Raquel. We do need to do a design review soon because we've not done that in ages. In fact, maybe we could do one on Wednesday. Yeah, basically, I just wait for that channel in the Discord to fill up with work. So the more people post their work in there, it just kind of feeds those sorts of streams. That's interesting, design-wise. Dark Sword. That's cool. Bit too playful, though. Europa. Yeah, that top one's interesting. Feels a bit more distinctive. The bottom one just feels like every other sans serif typeface. I couldn't even tell you what that bottom one is. It's so generic. It just looks the same as everything else. What's that? Farisi. Again, generic. I like the A though on it. I like the A. The little spur on the A looks quite nice. It's the little flick of the tail. It's called a spur. Let's keep going. We've only got 5,000 more fonts to go. Settle in now. Okay. That one. Friendly monster. Yeah, there's things I like about the top font, and there's things I don't. I like the character. Okay, so this might be a good example where I draw custom lettering because I like a lot of it, but there's a few little bits I would tweak. I would tweak the E, the M. I would tweak the A. Make the E ever so slightly less wide. I like the way the R connects to the A as well. That's cool. It's almost like, I don't know, plumbing, ventilation. So, do we go and do that? No. Flippin' heck. Go on then. First time doing lessering in Affinity. It should be straightforward, really. Blah, blah, blah. Right, let's move you over here then. We're going to drop this down to 10 opacity. It's quite hard to see, but just enough that I can see it. Snapping on, Command or Control R to get rulers up. And we'll just define something. Right. How are we going to do this? We want the corners to be the same. So instead of drawing the corners, we're going to use the whatever the tool's called. Contour tool? That one. Lock the guides so we don't move them. There we go. See, why is it not snapping there? Is that a setting I got to switch? Snap to shape key points. Yes? Is that... No. Maybe it's snap to object geometry? I'm trying to get it to line up with this one. Just snap to everything. All layers. Oh, hang on. That might be it. No. Okay. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It does matter. That's annoying. Why is it not snapping to that vertical point? That's can I align to it? Yeah, okay, that's fine. That is a workaround for now. Let's pick a weight and we'll stick with it. And I'll go for 2. That looks about right. Gordita. Right. So we'll copy this over. This is the great thing about doing custom type is we can actually reuse a lot of elements. So we'll just do that. We're kind of using this as a guide, and then we'll need to define the X height as well. So let's create another guide and view locks them. Right. I need, where's the guide? I need the guide to snap. Well, the guide and the thing isn't lining up, which is kind of irritating. Why is... Oh, hang on. I think I got it. I think I got it. There we go. Right, so document units. I think I got to change them to... I'm working on a pixel grid, so I've got to change my units. So they're in pixels. Why is my stroke not in pixels? How do I change the units of my stroke? Is there an option that's staring me in the face? Like I want that to say point or pixel. Oh, that's good to know. Nice, that's cool. Thank you. That's really good. Jay, thank you. How do I change that though so it shows a pixel value permanently? Is that a settings thing? Yeah, I've typed in the pixel value, but I want to be able to see the pixel value in there, so I'm not having to think. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to think too hard. Okay, we'll carry on for now, but if anyone knows how to change that value, that would be handy. So if I go 10 pixels, I'll work with that. Yeah, so we'll change 10 pixels. Okay, 2.4. Cool, there we go. Right, so we're lined up to the X height. So that's going to be the height of like your lowercase letters. And this one. This does make it a lot easier having a little grid to snap to like that. It does. And then down here we can snappity snap. And 2.4 point. Bring that out. We'll probably bring that in, to be fair. Oh, this shouldn't take too long, actually. We are still live, yeah. We're doing the font, yeah. I got a good feeling about this font, so I'm going to bother to take the time to customize it, because then I can fine-tune it and be creative with it. And it'll be fun. And then I can show everyone how to do it as well, which is hopefully also fun. So this will get faster as we go through it. So let's go through, get rid of that. Pull that out. We're going to do the same here. We'll go flip this. There we go. We're just going to match the spacing as well because the whole font's been done already. And this bit, we'll just create a box. Get rid of the random red fill. It seems to like bringing red into the design for some daft reason. Let's convert to curves because then I can change this stroke so it's on the center. There we go. Yeah. So just lining up all the geometry so it's super clean. Right. Snappity snap, duplicate. This is pretty straightforward. It's quite similar to Illustrator, to be fair. Right, we missed the V because it's scary. So we'll match the angle. We'll fix that in a minute. For the bottom, we want to flatten this. So we're going to move the pen tool along a tiny bit. And then what we can do is duplicate this, flip it, drag it over. We'll need to change the corner type. And I've now got to figure out how to connect these up. Someone said it the other day. Do you go merge curves? Is that it? And then you... No. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. How do I join these two? Ah, there we go. Perfect. So we're just creating the geometry nice and clean. up here for now. We're going to use the good old box technique, which never fails, apart from when it does. Lovely. M, again, super easy. We're just going to take existing letters and just duplicate them over. Yeah, we'll leave that like that for now. E, very similar to the A. So we'll rotate that around. Snap it up. The snapping in the pixel alignment is actually really useful. This is super cool. How do we... So if I... Can I select these two and join them? Straight? Yes, there we go. I'm getting the hang of it. We're getting there. I'm going to customize all this as well, so... Ooh, the C. Oh, that's weird, huh? Okay, maybe we should take this font with a grain of salt. The C, I think, should be the same height, and it's not. And that's sloppy. So normally, that sort of attention to detail is covered off by whoever made the font, but some fonts are more technically tighter than others. Let's put it that way. Guidelines. Bring your rulers up, Command or Control R, and just drag them out. And H. So yeah, that does extend a bit higher, but I think I'm going to keep mine to the cap line. So the cap line or the cap height is like the tallest part of the capital letters. So that's like a base version. So I'm going to copy this, drag it. No, I'm not. I'm going to copy it, duplicate it, and then move it up using the arrow keys. And now I can kind of go and work on this version. Because it's got some more, the radius is slightly larger. So we'll grab these. And we'll just freehand it till it looks good. And maybe punch in an exact value. So let's go for 10. So then now I can do the same here. Type in 10. And we're just being super consistent. So 1, 10. Down the bottom here, this one is going to be 10 as well. 10. Now I want to do something different here. The bottom of the A, I think I might add like a little spur. I need a little curve for that. So we'll just create an ellipse and convert to curves and then just get rid of all that. That's the quickest way I've found to create a curve as well. Now this might look awful, but this is the fun part because you can, like, we've copied the font as is and now we can start being a bit more creative. Just as long as we don't screw it up. So that looks awful, but we can play around. So, you know, maybe we do that. And then this gap, I'll have it the same width as the other letters. And it's not quite on the pixel grid anymore, probably because no, it never was. I don't know what's going on. As long as it's snapping to the guides, that's fine. Alright, we'll do a 10 on there as well. The M, I think I'm going to probably... That's alright, yeah. The bump before didn't feel significant enough. So the A and the E, we could mirror that. So we could do the same sort of thing and create a gap there. We've got around the corners as well, so that's going to be 10 again. Maybe here as well. Do we bring this up? Bring it back in, just so it lines up. And then 10 that. I don't know, but you could see what I mean. We're customizing the text, but we're doing it very, very slowly and safely, I think. And 10 for that. So yeah, we've gone from pretty copied, safe to curving, but then slightly customizing. So we can go and tweak that loads. Settings user interface. Oh, thank you. Let's have a look. Show lines and points. Oh, I see. So unchecking that means it's going to show the document unit, right? So if I'm working in millimeters for print, it's going to change. That's really helpful. Thank you. I'll leave it there because I work in pixels a lot. Ah, thank you. That's a really good point. I appreciate you saying that. The reason that it looks like I know what I'm doing is because a lot of it does translate over from the Adobe stuff. A lot of tools are very similar, if not the same. They just work slightly differently. And a lot of the techniques that I know and that I teach in my other courses for Adobe, a lot of them carry over. It's just once you figure out where the stuff is, some things are named slightly differently. But once you get your head around it, that's why I like doing these lives working on real projects, because it's I'm starting to get a bit more familiar. Yeah, so I'll just show you this. If you missed it earlier, this is my second attempt at photo manipulation. So bringing over the knowledge from Photoshop, trying to recreate something I would normally do, but in Affinity. And it's turned out pretty well. I think this is pretty much more or less done. So, and this doesn't use any fancy tools or techniques. It's just a solid going over of the fundamentals, you know, like your levels, recoloring, curves, exposure, and the brush tool that Raquel loves. Maybe. So it's just, this is what I mean. It's just experimenting, moving bits around one step at a time, so we don't want to cock it up. Bring that down. Maybe we have the E just go straight. Maybe we curve it up. Maybe I'll have the I as a square rather than being not square. And just nudge it up. And then if you wanted, let's move random pinwheel thing out of the way. If you wanted, you could go do another copy and then go even crazier, like go wild with it. Do some stuff that you really wouldn't normally do. Maybe you round it off more. And then at least you've got 3 versions. You've got super safe, probably going to go with that. And then the, you know, I've had too much to drink. That's happened. Just go wild with it, honestly. Have fun. You might screw it up typographically. Doesn't matter, you know. It's a good way to be creative as well. I think here I've just noticed something. I'm going to bring the E in slightly. It's just a bit too wide for my liking. And the other thing that's very easy to muck up when you're doing this is the kerning, and that is the spacing between the letters. So a good way to kind of try and get the spacing right between the letters is, I'm going to first just move this up a bit more, but then zoom out loads. When you zoom out loads, it makes it easier for some optically clever reason that I can't explain to identify spacing and inconsistencies between different letters. Oh, there's a cat. Is that you, Roo? You want to come in? You're going to fall off the table again? Got an idea. Why don't you go in with the boys? Do you want a cat?
Are you done?
Not yet. Here's a cat.
Yay!
May you raise him. Oh, I'm going to have to stop soon. My leg isn't working anymore. I've been sat down on my arse for far too long. Stylus. Aha, there you are. Right. I want a cat. Oh, you got to get one. They're cute and great and fluffy and strokeable. You have a whole panel for guides and column guides. Do I? Where? Where is it? Where is this panel? I like that, actually. I really do like that. Master! What am I looking for, Raquel? Oh yeah, the other great thing about doing this is that because I've drawn all this, I can adjust the weight. So I can fine tune this, which is legendary stuff. I quite like this as well. I don't know if this is the right way to go, but I'm just going to play around with this before I depart for the evening. So let's... Where's my right click stop working? There you go. Oh, I'm starting to get a lot quicker at this, actually. It's all right. I'm getting quicker. We need a triangle. Rotate you around, line it up, squish it in. Those corners are weird, so let's... why are they beveled, actually? That is... I've not chose the beveling as the type. Why are they beveled? Oh, the mitre. There we go. Let's point them out. Yeah, let's make these a bit shorter. It's hard when you've got the muscle memory from something like Illustrator, but it's getting easier. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do it horizontally first because it's much easier snapping than on angles, I think. How do I? How do I get rid of that? No. So, yeah, so slightly different to Illustrator. What are we doing? Oh, do I have to? Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. No. I'm trying to just cut that individual segment. Why is it not cutting it? Does anyone else know? I want to just get rid of just this one point. Like, normally, you can select drag method. Yeah, I want to be able to get rid of... Usually this works, but it's not working for some reason. Is that because it's not a closed shape? I wonder if that's why. So let's select them. I swear it used to do this, unless I'm doing it wrong. No, I don't want to create an arrow. For me, this isn't about using the instant tools like that to make things. It's about getting familiar with the shape border tool and the stuff I'm going to use. Like, I could create an arrow super easy, but I don't learn anything. Like, that's I want to figure out how the tools I use in Illustrator all the time. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Right, it's because I had a shape fill. I had a fill on this color. And that was causing the problems, I think. Good Lord. We got there. So then now I should be able to pull that there, and then merge everything. So how do I combine these 2 points on the same spot? Nope. I need to combine them into one thing. Join. Okay, it's it's a bit different to what I'm used to, but I'm getting around it. So we join them, and then I just delete that one, and it maintains the path. Okay, there we go. Right, now it's added a white fill again for some reason, so let's get rid of that. And we got to line this up. I don't think it's going to snap, so we're going to do it by eye. Oh no, there we go, cool. And now we just bring this back in. This is actually all right. This is not too bad. Yeah. Join tool. There isn't a join tool, I don't think, on the left. Oh, yes. I always forget that, Racco. Good point. Yeah, if you invert the word, it can help with kerning. Right. All right, this bit here now, I've got to figure out... Do I want to curve the arrows? Or do I do that? That is a bit more interesting. This idea, I could probably put it in a container. Better. If I wanted to. So if I were to group that. And center them. Ungroup. I could then extend that out. Oh, it's so nice now. I'm getting used to the keyboard shortcuts and the just the little things. Push that in. 1, 2. Just to space it from the edge of the box a little bit. And then this, we're going to convert to curves. And add a cut. Cut. And we'll do the same over here. Cut, cut. Move you down. Yeah, snap them together. Sometimes easier. So the whole logo is now in one line, which you could argue is a subtle representation of airflow, right? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching there. Right. What is it? 2.4. No. What's the flipping... Is it 20? 20 pixels? Yeah, there we go. Color, red. So we'll use Jay's trick of alter option to... Is it alter option? To temporarily disable snapping. Stuff like that is so flipping handy. Because it means I don't... It's like I can keep using my smart guides, but disable them just for one action like that. Move it over here. Zoomy zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Nice. Oh. Come on, Dan. There we go. Oh, we could do something like that, and you could diagonalize it. That's not a word. Oh, was it delayed? Oh, where is that? Align to nodes of selected. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I don't know what construction snapping is, but you've got it checked, so I better turn it on as well. Yeah, see, it's little things like that. I think with a lot of things, yeah. Because I've definitely had Affinity 2 behave like that. It's like Affinity does do a lot of stuff that you think it doesn't at first, but it's just maybe under a menu or disabled, or you just have to learn how to do it. So if we were to take this, shrink it down, turn on scaling. Love that option. Oh, yeah, we're getting some ideas. We're definitely getting some ideas. Let's go back to black. I wonder if there's any other good ones worth pursuing on this board. Possibly. What do we think to the arrows? That idea of airflow and yay or nay? I mean, that is a very squared off version, so we could do a slightly more rounded one as well. Let's go for 50. You like the rounded look? You don't like the arrows? No, I think there's part of me that kind of prefers them out. Maybe. We'll see. See how this looks. What is it specifically you don't like about the arrows, just out of interest? I mean, I already prefer that to the box version. A Pokemon! Kind of, yeah. Cold, hot air, in, out. Yep, that is the idea. Going, give the arrows some flow. They are very straight. Yeah, that would be another idea to explore. I see what you're saying there. So, where's my circles? Did we do circles? Some of these ideas are wild. Where's my circle? Did I get rid of it? Maybe it was terrible. Actually, I am gonna grab. Where is it? Oh, flipping heck, I need more space. Right. I'm doing it. We need to get more space. This is... I'm going to go for 24,000. Can Affinity handle that? I don't know, but I need more space. We've got to get out of here. We're going over here now. Yeah, I'm going off the top one a bit. I think the more I see it. I think the font's good, even if it's not, even if it needs tweaking a bit more or maybe rounding off more. I can tweak that, and it's custom, but we didn't have to do it all from scratch. Like mentally, we used a base font and we just developed it. And it probably has a few spots we could tweak as well. Do something wild with the A. Probably not. But if we wanted to do something super radical, we could do, but yeah. Maybe here I'd round the caps off. Not caps, sorry. Corners. Just kind of goes from super hard to slightly curvy. I think normally, yeah, I would do a poll or something, but I'm not convinced any of them are it. Okay, let's ignore the top one then, because, yeah. Maybe the concept still works, but that implementation of it just feels like a total mismatch. But if you had to go middle or bottom, which one would you go for? Or top? If you want to go for top, then tell me to shut up. What would you go for? Just out of interest. Or what do you think has the most potential? If we were going to develop them, what one would you go with? I think I know which one I'll pick as well. Let's sorry, we will do a poll. Which has the most potential to develop? So not as a finished design, but to develop. And we should really benchmark these against the brief as well. Like, does it do that? Does it cover off that? I feel like this is really split. I think yeah, I think the top one would be green. That would be the obvious color. But we're going to try and stick with black at the minute and get it looking good in black and white first. Yeah, I feel like this one's quite a divisive design. Is that a flipping dead split? Oh, come on. We're calling all lurkers. This is a code red. We need more votes. If you're lurking and watching the stream, please. We've got 12 votes and there's 45 people watching. I know you're probably busy or maybe eating a sandwich, but please, we need an opinion. We can't have 33 apiece. Oh yeah, we do. If you're in the Discord and you want to boost our server for like, what is it, a few dollars a month or something, then we'll love you forever. We lost a couple of boosters recently, and flippin' hate that word, but we lost a couple, and we've lost some of our stickers. They're now locked behind a boost paywall, so we have to beg for more boost people. Oh, is it? What company is it? We can look up their logo. Bottom is a flow sticker. What on earth is that? Oh, that's not actually a thing. I think I've got one or two already. I can't remember. It's something like that. I didn't know what I was doing, and I still don't really understand it. But what was I saying? Brain. Yeah, when I first started doing it, I think I thought that if I bought a boost, you automatically get the level. I didn't understand the whole like Discord collective all boosting together thing. So I bought like a bunch of boosts, and I was like, why have I not got level 3? What's going on? And then it's like, ah, you need like 7 more. It's like, what? Just what? After all my anti-bird leanings, I'm favoring the top one because it's feeling like flames and also airflow. Oh God, no! This is the point where I probably take a break. Good progress, yes. Need to take a break. The top one. Let me go back to the editable version. Okay. Thank you for that really conclusive poll, everyone. Just I'm so glad we could get a definitive answer. Right. Where is it? Right, screw it. We're gonna go origami. That's gonna be the final. Where is my thing? Yeah, this one's editable. Okay, right. What I want to do is try that. Expand the stroke. And then copy the style of that. Yeah, there we go. That shortcut when you're holding Alter Option and like it ignores snapping is so flipping useful. Because I keep snapping on for most of my stuff, but to be able to just disable it in the moment is so cool. I don't know if changing the angle is going to help. Bird nosediving into the floor. There we go. Or flames and air flow or something. Maybe. We'll try it. Got to be careful integrating stuff with type, because it can look weird and create other problems. Ugh. Yeah, kids are fine. Kids? You still alive? Good. Carry on. Aerodynamic bird. Don't like the flow going down. Not a good message for clients. Doesn't really lead into the whole reliability thing, does it? Okay. Oh. I just had an idea. Back to sketch mode. Why did I have to have an idea? I need to go and do something away from the screen. My brain is melting. Right. What was my idea? This looks like a flame. Let's do that. But then we're going to have a bird looking back on itself. Wow, that lag is spectacular. There we go, better flame. How's this bit going to connect? Clean up some of this line work. Oh man, this delay on the stylus is so challenging. This needs to be more flame-like, but... Oh, hang on a second. That's fine. What if... Better idea. Let's go up. Flame and water at the same time. Okay, more ideas. More idea. Let's go. So oh my god, there's like a 1 second delay on the tablet. Huh. Centrally align that. So some sort of, it could be a flame, it could be water. And remember that they do pumps as well. Kind of fits with the theme. If I can make it look environmentally sound, which is probably going to be green, let's be honest. The name is Envira Mech. So, and then we can have the environmental aspect here as the bird. Try and get it in as the actual flame itself as well. So this is the flame. Yeah. I think it needs tweaking, but I like the idea as well, actually. This is the first idea where I've actually felt something close to a feeling. And I actually shut up for 5 minutes. So that is some sort of indication that I might be onto something. These curves are awful. Flames, you gotta get it right there. You've got to get like a nice smooth curve. This is kind of tricky with this delay. So you sort of bring it out over here to the right, and because you bring it out quite far, you've then got to sort of try and bring this over almost to like counterbalance it, if that makes sense. Yeah, just spending this time to refine the curves really does make a massive difference. Like here. Yeah, do you see the difference there with that curve? The bit I just refined? And then maybe the bird in itself needs to come right into the middle. The whole thing feels a bit sloped at the minute. So what I would do is try and probably start, actually. I would start with a decent flame. Now, what sort of flame are we going for? Are we going to go for symmetrical, or... I'd probably start with a circle there and then come up, do that. So get the actual main shape looking right, first of all, and then just fill in the bird thing. That's a bit better. So then this part here, I want that to be central, I think, or do I? Actually, no, I might want to move that over to the right because otherwise the head's going to feel like it's too far on the left. So bird head, maybe bird head. Go there. No. Bird head's got to come up a little bit away from the floor. Beak goes there. And then beak curves into neck. Ah, yeah, it doesn't look like a bird anymore. Because I mucked up the head. So you need to kind of come out there. Maybe a little beak. That's a bit better. I'm sitting at an angle, so I'm trying to look at it straight on. I think, yeah. God, this takes such like precision to get the shapes in the right place. Give him a little eye as well. I mean, you maybe, I don't know. It does reinforce the bird element. It just depends how much you want to lean into it, literally. Well, it's one of those things actually. It You could very easily look at this because it's going to be green. It could be a flame, it could be a water droplet, it could be a leaf. It could really be anything. And I don't think unless they go and make it all flame like, that looks like a funky pineapple. I don't think it will be distinctively a flame. I think it actually could, as an icon, it could be any of those things, apart from wind. So we've got 3 out of the 4 elements covered off there. Oh, yeah, I think you're probably right, Care. Yeah, this is, I think, actually starting with a. What I should do really is draw a proper circle, like a decent circle. And then have the bird head. Actually, we could probably geometricify this quite well. So we'll do a smaller circle underneath. Very geometric. Not quite your golden ratio, but that actually could work for the curves to get them perfect. So we do that, 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 that. Obviously play around with the size, but considering those are freehand circles, they're not the best at all. But it's fun. Oh, he's got a bit of a big head now, but we could make it smaller. But this one does feel a bit more balanced. I think if we were going to do the circles, we'd have to just get the sizing right. At the minute, he's a little bit of a big head. Oh yeah, I mean it's tricky. It's looking at it there and going like you could see what it is, but it's trying to imagine it as a digital version, clean, balanced. Actually, do you know? I think I got to be honest. I think the problem here was trying to merge the bird into the flame. I like this one the most. That's the first one. I think this has got massive potential. Doesn't even need that. I think that idea has really got potential. This doesn't need to be a literal drop or a flame, but you could convey environment and sustainability through that more subtly. Almost, yeah. It is. It's kind of like a dove, but you're sort of doing it in a more subtle way. The line work would obviously be thicker. We'd have probably gonna have green in there. Let's be honest. And we could get some lovely curves in here. How have you found the brush behavior? Getting used to it. Different at first with Photoshop, but I've moved my brushes panel to the left now, which is easier to access them. One thing I changed was dynamics, not for this brush, but like for brushing in slowly. I've changed the accumulation to 100% and set it to pressure. Not for this, but for like my normal soft brush for shading and stuff. So I'm just kind of getting used to it. Obviously, you've got the force pressure if you're doing any like pen display or tablet work. Oh yeah, these curves look really good. It's called Enviromech. Yeah, not tech, is it? I want to go and say tech. Enviromech. This one. This will be a good test for pen tooling. Not pen tooling. Creating this. It's quite tricky. There's lots of curves in this. When you've got lots of curves in the design, it's very easy to get it wrong. I think I should be able to use the clock method quite nicely though. Where you kind of mark. Oh god, the lag on the display thing is flipping awful. It's like not registering. I think it's because I'm connected to an external display. But yeah, that's the one I want to play with next. Oh my god, right. I'm gonna go and lie down in a dark room somewhere. Exactly, Raquel. Yeah, I think this is gonna. What I'll do is I'll probably use circles. I'll lay out some circles to get as much of the curves as possible, which I think will be a lot of them actually. And then I'm going to clock method this curve here. If you want to know what the clock method is on the main Dansky channel, there's a video on it. It's flipping brilliant for pen tooling. But yeah, and there's the existing logo we're redesigning. So for anyone who's wondering what on earth we're doing, that is the current logo. But I like this. I like that. As long as it, once I mock it up and do the design, we benchmark it against the brief, that is going to be the important thing. Oh, good. Yeah, that was wait, has that been 4 hours? Flippin' heck. Oh, we've not done a 4-hour one in a while, have we? Oh my goodness. So, right. Goodness me. I'm going to go and stare at a wall. Creative brain dump. Yeah, literally. That was a good session, actually. I'm glad we did a session just focusing on idea generation, because that's really cool, and it's always fun to look back and see the process. Oh yeah, I can't wait to carry on with that. I'm going to have to digitize that soon. Right. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, by the way, if you want the free logo thing, you want to learn the logo design process, the link at the top of the chat is a link to download a PDF, and it shows the logo design process that I use. And it's the infographic we did on stream a few days ago. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for joining. Have an amazing evening. And I will see you Wednesday on the main channel. Toodaloo. Bye.